In this video, I want to talk about the aggregation type called simple weighted mean of grades. And what exactly is simple weighted mean? What this aggregation does, if these are some sample scores that the student has at this point in the semester, a 7 out of 10, an 8 out of 10, and a 90 out of 100, simple weighted mean is going to add up all their scores. This adds up to 105. It divides by the points possible, which in this case is 120. And their overall percentage grade would be 87.5% at this point. That's what simple weighted mean does. Adds up scores, divides by points possible. Within As You Learn, how do you check your gradebook setup? Well, when you first log into your site in As You Learn, first off you want to know if your gradebook is available to students. We've added this quick set block. So here you can see students see gradebook yes or no. By default it's no. If you want to make a change, just toggle your change and hit update settings. So with this change, students would now have access to the gradebook, which means they would have a grades link here where they could access their individual gradebook. So to get to gradebook setup, as the teacher, you go under this gear and go to gradebook setup. By default, As You Learn uses simple weighted mean of grades. So by default, you don't actually need to make a change. But if you wanted to change it on this blue line, this determines the overall aggregation for the whole gradebook. So you would go to Edit, to Settings. And here are the aggregation types. The default of simple, but you can make it something else. Mean of grades is going to average. Weighted mean of grades is a good choice if you're a percentage grader and you want to say quizzes are 20% of their grade or assignments are 20% of their grade. Simple weighted mean, adding up scores, dividing by points possible to get a percentage. Or if you're a straight points person, you could use natural. That's just going to sum up all of the scores. Below the aggregation, there's a box, Exclude Empty Grades. Most people want to leave that checked. It keeps a running total for the students. It says we haven't done everything in the course, so if something is ungraded because we haven't done it yet, that's not going to count against you. I'm going to tell you how you're doing at this point in the semester, knowing we still have a ways to go. If you make any changes on this page, make sure you click Save Changes. Usually you should see your aggregation right here. So that says simple weighted mean. One thing to be aware of, points matter in this aggregation type. In this example class, I have an exam worth 100 points, an assignment 1 worth 40, and an assignment 2 worth 20 points. Whenever you add quizzes or assignments within As You Learn on the main page, they automatically appear within the As You Learn gradebook. Within this aggregation type, if I were a student and I had to get a 0 on one of these first 3 items, I would definitely pick the 20-point item because a 0 out of 100 is a bigger 0 because that item was worth 100 points. It's worth 5 times what this assignment is of 20 points. So remember, if you use simple weighted mean of grades, more points, more value. Within As You Learn, if you go to the bottom of the setup page, you also have the ability to add grade items. And this is a great tool to use if you have things you do outside of class, but you want to give them a grade. All you have to do is click Add Grade Item, give it a name, determine the points there. If you've created categories, you can put it in the category, and then just click Save Changes. So here it added that item to the bottom of the list. There are the points that are possible for it. And then I can assign grades to the students within the gradebook. You also have the ability to add categories. And categories are very handy whenever you want to group things together. In this sample course, I already have a category here called Journals. And here are all the items that are in that category. It has sort of a yellow wrapper around it. I can see the point values. And when you use simple weighted mean of grades, your category totals should be 100 because ultimately you're converting everything to a percentage. So points do matter, but everything's getting converted to a percentage. So these should probably be 100. So 100 for the category and 100 overall. I hope this helps.